What's going on, everybody? Zenny Dimes here with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 trades that I think are going to go down at this coming trade deadline, or at least could go down. And so the first trade that I have is coming off the heels of these Malcolm Brogdon trade rumors, and it's going to be the Indiana Pacers receiving Larry Markkanen, Tomas Satoransky, Carson Edwards, Romeo Langford, 4 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks, while the Celtics are going to be receiving Domantas Sabonis and Chandler Hutchison, and the Bulls are going to be receiving Malcolm Brogdon and Grant Williams. So I think this is a deal that can really help out every single team, as they all kind of are looking for these things, while the Celtics, of course, are looking for a big that could really impact the game, and the Bulls have been in the market for a point guard, and so they're both being able to get that, while the Pacers are just hitting a complete reset on this team and roster in general, because we've all heard about the rumors where Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner don't really fit next to each other that well, and I think that's definitely true. And so they're just kind of being able to move on from that, being able to get Larry Markkanen, who I think fits a lot better next to Miles Turner. Larry Markkanen could stretch the floor for them, provide a lot of offense for them, being able to shoot tons of threes and being able to post up a decent amount. He's a pretty good skilled player. And they're also able to build with Romeo Langford and Carson Edwards, where both of them, I think, have a lot of potential, where Romeo Langford is a pretty great defender who struggled a decent amount with his three, but is a pretty great mid-range shooter and had a decent free throw percentage. He's coming off of a wrist injury. He had surgery on it, but he's been slowly recovering. And they're also getting back Carson Edwards, a nice point guard he has very few turnovers and is a pretty decent player for them moving forward. I think he could be a nice bench piece coming for them. And they're also able to get Tomas Satoransky, who's another nice player. He's been having a great season this year, and he's shooting amazing from 3, so he could kind of just help this Pacers team as well. And now for the Celtics, Domantas Sabonis, like I said, they really do need another big, and he's a great rebounder. He's averaging like 20 points, 6 assists. He's just a very talented man, and he could truly add a lot to them. And they're also able to get Chandler Hutchison, who's kind of struggled his entire career, including this year, but he's all right. And I think that just getting Sabonis is, of course, the main reason why the Celtics would do this. Getting that solidified big, they could have a starting lineup of Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Domantas Sabonis. And I think that group of guys can really make a difference in this Celtics team. And just, of course, they've been struggling a lot this season, so they kind of do need to shake things up a little bit, and Sabonis would add that. And for Chicago, they're able to get Malcolm Brogdon, who's a great 3-and-D point guard. He's a 50-40-90 threat. He's amazing with his playmaking, especially in these last 2 seasons with Indiana. And they're able to add him, along with Grant Williams, who's another great player to have. He's a pretty great defender so far. He's got amazing footwork, and he's improved his game a lot. He's been able to add a 3-point shot, so Chicago also adds a lot to them. And I think this just helps out everyone involved. And this next trade that I have is Victor Oladipo getting traded to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for Tony Snell, Cam Reddish, and a first-round pick. So for the Hawks, they're getting back Victor Oladipo, a proven all-star, all-NBA type player when he's fully healthy, and he's been doing pretty great so far this season, coming back from his injury. He's been able to average 21 points since then, and just has been a phenomenal defender, as always. So I think that him on this Atlanta Hawks team is a pretty young team. He could kind of help out that group a lot, especially Trae Young on the defensive side of things. And they're able to trade just Cam Reddish, who, of course, I truly do believe that Cam Reddish has all-star potential, but it's just a matter of putting it together, and he hasn't really had that opportunity in Atlanta. They've got tons of depth already in that position, so getting a proven star like Victor Oladipo, I think, could go a long way, and just a veteran player that truly does believe in himself. And just, you could see the work ethic that Victor Oladipo has, and he would fit perfectly with Atlanta. And they're also able to get Cam Reddish, and Tony Snell is kind of just a throw-in for the most part. I know he hit that 1-game winner, so I'm sure Atlanta would love to keep him, but they kind of have to trade him for the salary, and they're also throwing a first-round pick in there. So it's a decent trade. I think that Atlanta would benefit a lot from this, and for Houston, they could get back one, at least, player that I think they could really build around, and they also get back a first-round pick, so it's a solid trade. This next trade that I have is an Aaron Gordon trade, because you need one of those in all of these trade videos. So Aaron Gordon is going to get traded to Miami. And the Magic are going to be receiving Gary Harris, JaMychal Green, Mo Harkless, a first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks. I know that they want 2 first-round picks, but I don't think they're going to really be able to get that. So they're getting a first and 2 seconds. And now the Denver Nuggets are receiving Andre Iguodala and Terrence Ross. So for Miami, they're getting Aaron Gordon, who is, of course, a very great, gifted talent, and he is just one of the most athletic guys in the league. He's one of the best dunkers in the league. He can stretch the floor for them. He's a pretty great defender as well, or at least a solid defender, maybe not great. But I think Aaron Gordon can fit great with this team and be able to mesh with Jimmy Butler, Goran Dragic, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, all of the rest of them. I think Aaron Gordon would add a lot to them and be able to really give them a proven power forward. And for Orlando, they're able to get back a nice haul where they're able to get Gary Harris, a very great defender who I think definitely needs some help offensively. He's been good in the past, but he kind of just hasn't been able to recapture that, so maybe a change of scenery could do wonders for him. And they're also able to get back a first-round pick and 2 seconds to build for the future. And for Denver, they're able to get back Andre Iguodala, a great veteran for the locker room, and of course he's still not washed at all, even though he's nowhere close to what he used to be. He's still a very great guy, he's a great defender, and he's a good playmaker. He's got just great instincts on the court, and you could see that he plays with a lot of heart. And they're also getting back Terrence Ross, who I think is definitely an upgrade over Gary Harris. He's an underrated defender that could create for himself and really do a lot for this Denver Nuggets team as well moving forward. So that's going to be that. Sticking with the Magic, they're also going to be trading Evan Fournier to the New York Knicks in exchange for Kevin Knox and a second-round pick. So for New York, they're able to get back Evan Fournier, who's a great player to have. He's been averaging like 19 points this season. He's a great shooter. He could create for himself and others a little bit too. He's a decent playmaker, and I think that they just really do need that shooting threat that Evan Fournier provides, and just to increase their overall volume and offensive potency. So getting a guy like Fournier would just do wonders for them. And now for the Orlando Magic, they're able to get back Kevin Knox, who is a great player to have, especially if they're going to be trading Aaron Gordon, because I think he could kind of fill in that role a little bit. I know he was able to average like 12 to 13-ish points for the Knicks in his rookie season, and he's kind of just gotten less and less minutes ever since then. But now moving over to Orlando, in this season in particular, with all of their injuries, I think he would get a lot of opportunities to try and score the ball and just prove himself, getting in an offensive role, and just, if you want some money, then I think he could kind of turn his career around with Orlando. And they're also getting back a second-round pick, which I don't really know if that's necessary or not, because Kevin Knox, I think, does have a lot of potential. But at the same time, he hasn't really proven anything in this league so far, so they might need to give up a little bit more. And as a Knicks fan, I would totally be okay if we just ended up doing this trade. And Evan Fournier is an expiring deal, so you can't really blame them if they want to keep him, or they could at least see what free agents they might end up getting. And this isn't really losing too much, so I think it's an alright deal. This final trade that I have is Kyle Lowry getting traded to the Philadelphia 76ers in exchange for Danny Green, Mike Scott, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, a first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks. So I think this move is if Philadelphia really does want to make it known that they are a force to be reckoned with in the East. They're already the #1 seed, but with Joel Embiid's injury, they could kind of use another player to rejuvenate this group going forward, and Kyle Lowry is a proven championship-level point guard. So they're able to get him. They could probably just move Ben Simmons over to the small forward, play Tobias Harris at power forward. They still got Embiid and Seth Curry, so I think that starting 5 is probably the best in the league. And it could be debated, of course, but I think that Philadelphia would really benefit a lot if they ended up making this move. They could get a guy like Kyle Lowry, who's a great defender, can shoot, and just he's been a proven playoff contributor at this point. He's had a pretty great run in the past couple of years, so I think he's kind of shedding that old reputation and just going to Philadelphia now. I think that he could potentially make this a true championship contender. And for Toronto, they're able to get back Tyrese Maxey, who is a point guard that I think they could run with for the future. And I know they already have Fred VanVleet, obviously, but I think that backcourt can probably make it work. And they could also get back Matisse Thybulle, who's one of the best defenders in the league already, and he's been playing pretty great recently as well. So getting a guy like Matisse Thybulle and Tyrese Maxey, I think the Sixers should definitely look into this. I'm not positive if they're going to be able to get both of them, but Kyle Lowry is literally a Toronto legend. They would definitely have a statue of him potentially. Like, he was, of course, a tremendous player. He's been there for a while, but I think Toronto might just want to rebuild, and this would be a great deal to do it. So that's going to be all for me. Thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. Let me know with a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below if you have any trade suggestions or just trade critiques of these trades. I would love to hear it. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell because you never know when I might be posting, but at least every Wednesday. So thank you so much and see you next time. Have a great life.